My local router just died. I'll turn it off and on again. Let's music back up a little bit. There we go. Alright, I guess we're going off Wi-Fi now. If the stream poops out, I'll try and fix it. We're gonna have a short stream tonight. Anyway. We are playing Dishonored 2. We had the percussives there of the organ. Oh, that was nice. Oh, we're not having a good time here. What a strong start to the stream. I think the game has crashed. That's fun. Oh no, it's not. It's been back up. Okay. I just saw it move. There's a loading screen. Alright, this game wasn't really optimized on launch, but I'm pretty sure it got fixed by now. But here we are, waiting a little bit for this loading screen to get done. Have a look at this. We're getting somewhere. I probably should test this before I came live, but here we are. Goodbye. I'm gonna do this real fast. The game is booted, I can do this. Oh, oh, there we go. There we go. Look at those two good-looking people. New Game Plus. Oh, right, okay. Alright, got it. Yeah. That's kind of cool, I like that. Yeah, we're gonna go with the hard because it says Veterans of Dishonored. Oh, is that the Lone Night quote? I don't know. Who are you asking? Also, this is not running well. OBS is just dying. It's like, it's taken 20 milliseconds to render the frame at not 100 FPS, and we're skipping mad frames. We're gonna get into the game though. We're gonna see if it changes once we're in the game. A long day at Dunwall. Today marks the anniversary of the death of Empress Jessamine Caldwin, assassinated 15 years ago. Visitors from come across the Empire of the Isles have journeyed to Dunwall Tower for the occasion. Welcome to the stream, Ironhawk. If this fucks up, then I guess we've just ended Dishonored. We'll just end it. Like, there won't be another Dishonored stream after this, and we'll move on to another game if this doesn't work.
Why do we celebrate the anniversary of an assassination? 15 years ago, in the middle of a plague that nearly destroyed Dunwall, a paid killer assaulted the palace where I was born and stabbed my mother in the heart. In the aftermath, the men who sent the assassin...
You know what? What we're gonna do? You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna skip it, and we're gonna quickly go back to the menu and restart it. Because I want to put on subtitles and sort settings out. I should have done that before I dived. I was too ambitious. Controls, what we got? Vibration, we're using mouse and keyboard. This might change, but we don't quite know yet. It's very Sherlocky, doesn't it? Who put C? Ah, that's crouch, thanks. FQE. That's C. Spyglass is all that can rinse that. Will I put Z2? I don't know. Sure. Like access wheel. That can be tab, I guess. Mana elixir, health elixir is that one, mana elixir is that one, journal's J, that's fine. Quick save is that, quick load is that. There we go. Yeah, okay. Thanks. That's really like 90% of PC ports of the keyboard and controls designed by someone who's never played a PC game before and it hurts inside. Why is crouch the common like why is crouch C on all games besides Minecraft? It's because of Minecraft. Because of Minecraft and Team Fortress 2, I'm pretty sure those made me have controls crouch. Nice. Oh, Ironhawk, I might just make you a mod and have the alt tab. Oh no, wait, hold on. That's a setting I can change, never mind. Whoa, they're coming in hot today, aren't they? Also, I'll hit alt tab and my computer is just not having a big old shit fit. I wanna ban these bots. I wanna ban them. I want them to never show up in my life again. There we go. Get the fuck out of here. Visuals, right. Generic D&D monitor. I'm gonna assume since it's on the right one, it's on the right one. Give me that borderless full screen. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I can alt-tab without my computer having a big old shit fit. There we go. Field of view, crank that up to at least 90. Brightness, let's have a wee swatch out the brightness setting, shall we? It was fine as it was. Ultra, ultra. We're doing good. We're at the good settings. And my frame rate is completely like, see once I put that out of full screen and back to like borderless windowed, the stream is like stabilized a little bit more, which is fantastic. VSync, get that shit off, man. Get that shit off. We're up here at fucking that resolution. Yeah. We're at fucking FPS. I'm like, oh, yeah, get that to 120. Fucking sure, why not? That can be 120. Get that on. Get that on. A higher but unstable frame rate. That's fine. What's this? Ambient collision. Sure, why not? We're okay with that. Run that VSync off, kills FPS. I know, just like just chokeholds your FPS. Get out of here. Audio, subtitles, get them on. Headphones. I'm wearing headphones. Give me that binaural sound if you have any. Gameplay. Let's change the gameplay. Onto my elixirs. Watch them in journal. Kill cam. Head bob. I'll bob the head. Bob with the head. I don't think I've ever seen a kill cam before, which is interesting. I don't actually know what that is. I never understood the appeal because it's tiny bit of screen tear, but as long as you aren't looking out for it, it looks fine. Some people are just graphic snobs. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Like, unless you're looking for it, you don't see it. It's like we're in VR. I'm not sure about like good ones like the Index and whatnot, but if like my headset, if you want to look for the pixels in VR, you can see them. You can see those pixels on the screen. It's when you're playing a game, you don't notice that at all. It's only when you're sitting there loading screen, not knowing what you're looking at, you see the pixels. But see when you're in a game, you don't see it because it doesn't matter that much, because you're not looking. It's like changing your focus because you're looking in the distance, aren't you? Because that's how VR works. I think these settings can all be just normal. Yeah. Okay, I think we're ready to go in for the second time. New Game Plus. We're gonna go hard because we are people. It says for veterans of Dishonored, and we just went through the whole game, the past game, so we're as good as we're gonna get.
Why do we celebrate the anniversary of an assassination? 15 years ago, in the middle of a plague that nearly destroyed Dunwall, a paid killer assaulted the palace where I was born and stabbed my mother in the heart. In the aftermath, the men who sent the assassin tried to use me as a pawn in a game of power. They would have succeeded, but my father, Corvo Atano, hunted them down and cut their conspiracy to pieces.
Yeah, it's confirmed that he's actually our dad. They didn't say that in the first game.
All these years later, am I the ruler my mother wanted me to be? Now, we face a new crisis. A monster the papers are calling the Crown Killer has been picking off my enemies and dressing it up like my father and I are responsible. I don't know whether to get on a ship and sail to the opposite side of the world, or to have everyone around me executed.
Watch your step, Majesty.
I'm not looking forward to all the ceremony today.
Your signet ring. There. You're ready.
Thank you, Alexei. Open the doors.
Majesty, Emily Caldwin.
Loyal subjects, we're going through a difficult time, but today we honor my mother, the late Jessamine Caldwin. May her memory survive through the ages.
Emily,
You look tired, Father.
every year I think the anniversary of Jessamine's death will be easier, but it never is.
I wish Mother was still the Empress. I don't think I'm very good at this.
You're still learning. Don't worry about the rabble-rousers, and we'll catch the Crown Killer, eventually.
People are saying it's you. That these assassinations are a misguided effort to protect me.
No, someone's trying to make us look guilty by targeting your enemies.
I wish I could just run away from all this.
Sometimes you do. You think I don't know about your nights out on the rooftops? Courage. The ceremony will be over soon.
Royal Protector and Father. I should have passed a law against that combination of titles years ago.
What a throne.
Your Majesty, before we begin the day's observances, we have an unexpected visitor, the Duke of Serkonos.
Ramsay says the Duke is bringing special gifts.
That's intriguing.
His Grace Luca Abel, Duke of Serkonos!
Mechanical soldiers? Amazing.
What is this, Ramsay? I didn't authorize those things.
Your Imperial Majesty and Royal Protector Corvo Atano, a native of our homeland. Serkonos offers condolences on this sorrowful day, and gifts to remind you of our nation, the rising star on the southern horizon.
We thank you, Your Grace.
Save your thanks, for now I give you the greatest gift of all, family. I present the lost sister of Jessamine Caldwin, your rightful Empress, Delilah Caldwin.
Oh.
My mother had a sister?
My dearest niece. Hello.
It's not true.
My father was Emperor Yuhorn Jacob Caldwin, and Jessamine was my younger sister. At the time of her death, I wasn't ready to make myself known to you, and I was forced to leave Dunwall. But now I'm home.
If you really are my mother's sister, you're welcome to stay as long as you like.
Little sparrow, blackened by bad memories, I'm here to relieve you of your crown. My father's promise, whispered in secret so many years ago, is now fulfilled.
Watch your tongue. Emily Caldwin is the daughter of Empress Jessamine Caldwin.
Royal Protector, how naive to think you could get away with these murders. Living in my palace has protected you, but that's over. Hear me, all of you. Your rightful Empress has returned.
All hail the Empress Delilah, first of her name. Arrest Emily Caldwin and her father for the Crown Killer murder.
And he's got this cool sword.
What?
Oh!
Can't still my heart.
What a start into the game. I completely forgot that Corvo just went ham in that first bit there. Oh. So yeah, Corvo has a voice in this game now. Fun fact. Also, the Outsider's voice is different in this game. That's Delilah. Delilah Copperspoon. Because that's the Delilah that we dealt with when playing as Dowd. She's back, somehow. Don't know what happened to her, but she's back, even though we stopped her as Dowd. Plays Emily Caldwin, ruler of Empire of the Isles, trained in stealth and combat by her father, Corvo Atano. Or, how'd you get my voice? Voice is so rated, I know, right? Plays Corvo Atano, legendary royal protector to the Empress and figure of infamy during the time of the Rat Plague. The votes on my Discord balance out that I'm playing Corvo this playthrough and not Emily. So, we're back in Corvo.
Cast you in cold marble. Corvo Atano, how handsome you are for a man of your age. And how long had you hidden the mark of the outsider? I expect it's a wonderful story.
I'll lock him in the Empress's chambers, and then I'll bring him to Coldridge Prison until his trial. My father lost it all. Sent me to the City Watch, one step above begging. Think I had to take your orders? Corvo Atano, son of a Zirconan tradesman.
Captain Ramsey, I heard shouting. Lord Corvo, what happened?
That'll be all, Captain Mayhew. Oh, so that's the Royal Protector's fancy weapon. What kind of sword folds in half? There's a legend in the City Watch. The Empress's last resort, the safe room inside your daughter's chambers, is holding enough gold to buy an island. And they say this is one of the only 2 keys.
What happened? Alexei, the throne room, Emily. Nothing I can do alone. I need to get out of here.
I didn't play the game. My first playthrough this game was as Emily, so all the dialogue that Corvo will speak I've never heard before in my life.
Ramsey knows what he's doing. The man's moving up the war. He's old. One of the good families. Now that he's helped the rightful empress take the throne, Ramses are going to be back in fashion in Dunwall. You'd be smart to remember that.
How do I lower view? And that doesn't seem to want to work. Hold on, I'm changing the controls already. So this is left, oh, left, right, that, lean, that can be ZX, why not? Why not? Okay, sure. Oh, I was going to change my interact button. That's what I was going to do as well. Empress, after the Royal Protector's Shakedown cruise, we'll launch the ISS Jessamine Caldwell just before the anniversary of your mother's passing, pending your approval, of course. On the platform, we'll have a bottle of King Street brandy tied to a long tether that you will release to swing out against the hull. What you say during the ceremony is, of course, up to you, but here's some ideas intent to serve as food for thought. May a brisk wind hurry you to shores near far and fair, may you shelter your crew from the perils of the terrible ocean, may you always sail for Bristol, true of heart and homeward bound. Yours faithfully, Advisor Wainwright. Nice. Oh. Empress, we face yet another murder. I cannot remain silent on this matter. Strange, is it not, that all the victims have openly opposed you? If not, strange is it not that all the victims have openly opposed you? If not strange, then also very convenient. Is there anything you wish to tell Your Majesty? How can I be an advisor if you don't include me in these most sensitive endeavours? I feel I must be the only person in Dunwall who doesn't know the truth about the Crown Killer. Don't leave me out in the cold. I remain your trusted servant and advisor, Leonora Helmswater. I think,
Maybe I should just spin it. Pick a place to lick my wounds. I've got to regroup.
I remember there being a tutorial, but I guess not. I guess I didn't get that.
Sarkonos has a way of turning sour just as soon as you get comfortable.
Jesus Christ. I wonder if you can... Well, I wonder if you can jump that and then somehow survive that fall into there. Because you go there, like, once you've gone through this building. Also, I remember when I tried to do this non-lethally, the
Lila
first
took away
playthrough.
the mark of the outsider. No more sorcery.
Protector, I can't believe Ramsey's a traitor.
Gotta move. No time to wait.
Is Lady Emily all
There's a
right?
coup underway. Emily is... she's imprisoned, for lack of a better word.
You've got to get out of the tower. Maybe through Emily's safe room. There was a captain earlier today, down at the docks, looking for you. Get away and help Emily.
I'm sorry, Captain Mayhew. Goodbye. Need my ring to open the safe room. Ramsey has it.
I remember this being the worst bit for the non-lethal playthrough. But I've not done it on non-lethal yet. I just gave up
As we
and
both
moved on.
know, whoever's killing off my detractors is doing so for calculated effect, undermining me. The Crown Killer is being guided by someone. But tomorrow's the anniversary of Mother's death. A sad day for us both. But I want you to remember all that's happened over the last 15 years. You've protected me, and taught me how to protect myself. You've helped me see what was right for the people of the Empire. We drained the flooded district, fought back the gangs, and yesterday we launched a beautiful ship in Mother's name. I'm trying to become the sovereign she wanted me to be. But Father, I wouldn't be here without you.
Yeah, and this is the game that confirmed that Corvo is Emily's dad. That isn't a...
These bastards are working with Ramsey and the Duke of Sarkonos.
Takes a lot longer to choke out in this game, it seems. I wrote this door here. That's the door to the... where I was, yeah. Royal Protector. Historical record of the government, positions and ranks. Addendum. Corvo Tano, accused of assassinating the Empress he was sworn to protect. How unlikely he would not only overcome his shame, but then redeem himself so fully as to prevent the Royal Protector to yet another Empress. Those of us at the College of Histories were too fast to use pen against him. Let us not blame historians, for the evidence against Tano was nearly overwhelming. First, he is the only Royal Protector ever to have been born in the Isle other than Bristol. His foreignness is not itself a crime, but added to the suspicions, the most forgiving of which was that he lacked the capacity to fully understand his duties. Second, he was caught quite red-handed with a bloodied weapon, kneeling over the body of Empress Jessamine. Of course, it turns out that even this damning evidence was part of a clever plot to destroy the Empress and remove Atano from interfering with the ongoing plans of the Lord Regent's conspirators. And while I admit to publishing what are now clearly incorrect conclusions regarding Corvo Atano, I will not, as some of my colleagues have done, resign my position at our veritable organisation. But instead, I reassert myself in the endeavour of weeding out fact from fiction to produce the most salient histories possible. Noble, noble.
Something feels wrong.
What do you mean something feels wrong? You just killed everyone in this building? The wrong thing here is you, Chief. The Crown Killer strikes again. Dunwall citizens express shock and fear as yet another outspoken critic of the Empress, Emily Caldwin, is met with violent demise. The latest victim is none other than Archibald Boyle, a notable entrepreneur, wow, I just could not show that, and supporter of the arts. Boyle recently wrote an opinion piece harshly criticising the Empress for what he called her slipshod style of governance and her willful, negligent duties. Authorities are convinced that the Crown Killer is the culprit, given the gruesome detail left at the crime scene. As Her Majesty's most outspoken adversaries fall one by one to this notorious assassin, we boldly ask, is it now the duty of the Royal Protector to murder all that dare criticise the throne?
Disloyal dogs.
Is there a way to... Am I not fully healed, or is there a way to turn off that health bar? I could have sworn... Oh, there we go. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. I could hide body here. Well, I didn't, so... It was here that I struggled with.
Blocked off, we should have the time we need. Just stay here.
I just went in and tried to get them.
Anyone who comes by. I'll be back when I've searched the royal chambers, assuming I don't accidentally lock myself in this damn safe room.
We'll cover for you if anyone from the Duke's party returns. This is exciting. Everything's changing.
Yes, the natural order is reasserting itself. The Ramseys once hosted the king and queen of Morley. Did
Doesn't
you know
look
that?
safe.
I spent my childhood playing with the Buntings and the Boyles, the cream of society.
And very soon you'll be back at the top, Captain. Ramsey's family fell from the aristocracy, and apparently the man holds a grudge. How it's anyone else's fault, that's beyond me. But one way or another, Ramsey is too dangerous to be left in play.
This game is a lot more... You have to be a lot more patient in this game than the first one, which is why my mistake was when I tried to do this on lethally the first time.
I'm hungry. Wait, I'll have a look over there.
I'll bring your head to the Duke!
So what I struggled with was choking him out without getting shot by another guy.
Bringing you home,
I
Emily.
think that guy just kicked down that door. I need to move fast. Get it. Agent South game's a lot. I almost fuck up and just go for the running gun routes.
Swear I saw someone.
Managed to pull that off fairly well. Though there goes my ghost.
We searched the whole place. I don't have time for that.
Oh. Audience request. Captain Mayhew. You don't know me, but you've got to tell the Royal Protector that I have an urgent need for his time. I'm carrying a message that has to be delivered to his face to face. Tell him I'm working with Anton Sokolov, an old friend. All the boats are being sent away from the docks, but I'll delay as long as I can. Tell Lord Corvo to find me there. My ship is called the Dreadful Whale, Megan Foster.
Anton Sokolov made this lock.
Anton Sokolov made this lock. I think, did we come back up? We kind of neat we did.
Show yourself and state your name.
Emily would fall asleep in here after the plague.
Whispers from the Void. Treats you in the physical existence of that foreign realm. Excerpt. These little glimpses of the void and dreams are described by those awoken from comas are not limited to a select few. In my interviews, I've gleaned over that there is not a single citizen without such visions at one time or another. This, then, must be a real place, not folklore or mass delusion. Perhaps it exists deep below the earth, or far above it. Perhaps it is right next to us, but hidden. Some trick of the light or wondrous curtain bars us from fully knowing it, and we all but wait for a natural philosopher to unlock its phenomenon and to show us how to see it at will. But when so revealed, it will not be a fearsome place any longer, not distant and special realm described in the myth of the outsider. It will be strange, yes, even unsettling, but nonetheless, it will be a new realm for us to explore and eventually conquer. What new treasures await us there? Are the lakes made of liquid diamond? Are the clouds a weightless silver gas? And what things would we learn? It is common story. A person has stopped breathing, pinned under the carriage wheels or by similar tragic happenstance, and is thought to be dead. But when the weight is removed, they make quick recovery. Nonetheless, for a moment or two, this person was lost to us, lost to the world itself. And what did they experience while they were in this temporary death? Darkness? Nothing? No, indeed not. They tell us, as so many have before, that they were in a particular place and can describe it vividly. And who among us does not know this place? Have we not all seen it in our dreams? This place we share in the farthest reaches of our minds, the realm where nothing makes sense, where one is at both lost and at home. The void. Letter from Wayman. Emily, I did not want to wake you this morning, but you'll forgive me since we must have said goodbye 100 times yesterday last night. And the only chance I get to see you is with your hair all whichever ways while you're asleep. As soon as the sun rises, you'll put on your empress face, and it makes me happy that I know your real face, the one that laughs at our silly rhymes. I don't want to go back to Morley, but I am indeed needed there. It'll be 4 months before we see each other again, and I miss you. And yes, I'll bring you some white leaf tobacco for your hookah. Lord Corvo, if you're reading this letter as per your royal protector functions, know that I'm joking and perfectly aware that the white leaf tobacco is forbidden in Bristol. Take care, my dearing Emily, and don't go falling from a rooftop. Love you, women. It's me talking on stream. Yes. Hey, can you pick me up some weed? As you know, MI6 weed is illegal in this country, so this is only for jokes. Lord Watano, the Royal Protector in Our Times, Part 1. His parents were older at the time of his birth, and his father died in a lumber accident outside the city when Corvo was still young. Around that time, his only sibling, a firstborn sister, moved away to Morley, and the family subsequently lost all contact with her. Only 16, Corvo dazzled at the people of Karnaca when he entered and won the annual blade Verbena. The spectators from all over Sarkonos were thrilled to see someone so young and striking, from a working-class family, advance through duel after duel, eventually taking the prize. This unexpected outcome secured Corvo a junior officer ranking in the Grand Sarkonian Guard. As a soldier, he was involved in a number of conflicts against organized criminal groups, rogue city-states within Sarkonos, and pirate bands along the chain of islands radiating from the east of Sarkonos. Sent from his homeland at the age of 18 by the Duke of Sarkonos and Entheonis Abel, the father of Luca Abel, Corvo was assigned to serve the Emperor in Dunwall as a diplomatic gift. His Sarkonian heritage made him a bit of an outsider in Dunwall, but the capital city must have seemed exotic and full of old world mystery. A few months after he moved to Dunwall, it is recorded that Corvo received word that his mother had passed away several weeks after his departure from Karnaca. Ah well. Holy shit! That's a whole foot pedal for flushing. Because that means you can pee and just stomp your foot. Oh my god! That's sick as fuck. Where's Karnaca? I don't see. Oh no, Sarkonos, Karnaca's down here. So we go like all the way around, interestingly enough. The golden cat. Well, that's right there, yeah. That's neat.
Samuel Beechworth made this. Wonder what advice he would have about today.
Well, rest in peace, Samuel. Bone charms. Excerpt from a book on sailing traditions in Scrimshaw. Bone charm, a sailor's blessing, they say. The carving itself is a practice from a long back, passed from salty dogs to young greenhorns still finding their seal eggs. In old times, sailors cut into tusks of ice seals and into the arm-long fangs of the bears that roamed the islets of the north of Tibia. Islets. Once the whaling trade began, the practitioners began engraving the bones in those great beasts, rendering charms that sing in the night and grant some small boon, increasing a lover's vigor, providing defense against pregnancy.
I suspect the Crown Killer is connected to Delilah's coup.
Oh, there's... That's horrifying. I hate that right there. Oh. I was going to pick up on...
Once more.
Wanted to know if they could, if I could...
Many people had forgotten this mask.
Wanted to know if I could walk out the room with it picking that up.
The reserves won't help against Delilah, even if I had a way to carry it all out of here.
That light is really loud. Ah, it's twins. Aww. There's a lot more detail in this game, obviously, because it's a lot newer, but it's so cool to see. How new is this game? I don't quite know. I couldn't tell you. How about we're gonna Google it. We're gonna Google it. Dishonored 2. It came out in 2016. And Dishonored 1 came out in 2012, so it was a 4-year gap between the two.
I've got to deal with Ramsey.
I knocked him out, come on, man. Oh. In an act of rebellion, young Jessamine Caldwin chose Corvo as her royal protector when Corvo was 19 and she was 12. He served her loyally as a bodyguard, courier, and some say spy before and after she was crowned the Empress. It's not too long ago. Yeah, no, it's not too long ago. Though it's it's what, 5 years? 5 years? Though it was a scandalous gossip at the time, it is said that they began a love affair around 1823 when Jessamine was 18 and Corvo was 25. How scandalous. The next chapter of Atano's life is something out of a legend. During the time of the Rat Plague, when the Empress fell, Corvo was accused of regicide and sentenced for execution. He was thrown into a Coldridge prison and publicly reviled. Fuck it. He escaped and, as part of a small conspiracy, decided to throw down the tyrannical Lord Regent. Corvo struck back at the people who killed the Empress and who wronged him. As the Lord Regent fell, the Loyalist conspiracy turned on Corvo, poisoning him. Surviving through some inner resilience, he located the true assassin of the Empress and fought his way out of the flooded district. Corvo eventually cornered the last of the Loyalists on King Sparrow Island at the Burrows Lighthouse, and rescued Emily Caldwin, heir to the throne. The romantic involvement between Corvo Tano and the Empress Jessamine Caldwin was a terribly kept court secret, and thus it is widely held that Emily Caldwin is her daughter. Following the Corvo watches over Emily as she began to rule over the Empire of the Isles. I knocked that guy out, and I can't just walk out the building. Like, he got woken up, clearly. But now they're going to be in high alert. And I have no gear. What are you on about? He's right there. He's unconscious. This is not. What is some of that? Wait, hey. Wait, is there a thing I'm missing? Is like. Place Mortimer in the safe room. Oh, okay, okay.
Now you've got what you wanted, Ramsey. The Imperial Suite atop Dunwall Tower.
Yeah, once like literally as soon as I put this game in windowed mode, the stream just started having a good time.
Until I understand this, I have to go into hiding. I should make my way to the docks.
Old history textbook. Chapter 12, The Whaling Trade. In 1631, Emperor Finlay Morengard commissioned the first fleet of vessels made expressly for hunting and processing of whales. They were powered by sails alone and so were at the mercy of the winds. Although these whaling ships were small by current standards, the Morengard's fleet established the robust whaling trade that we still enjoy today. Modern whaling vessels are much larger and use steam power to traverse the seas in search of whales. Did you know that every part of the beast is used? In addition to canned meat and whale oil, there are also a flourishing whalebone trade. Baleen is used in roofing, whale skins are processed into crude cloth, and bladders are made into wine flasks. Even the intestines are carefully harvested for their precious ambergris, fucking these words, man. Used in many medicines and perfumes. That's good. At least bone, like, so things, laws have gotten a lot more lenient since Emily got in power, such as the use of bone charms. And all the whales used, they're just scrapped and thrown out. Handwritten note at the end of the chapter. Emily, half of Morengard's whalers fell to the rough coast east of Morley. You can still see the remains of ships poking out the water should you ever visit Arran. Also, there is no mention here that Sokolov himself designed the first steam-powered whaling ships. He'll tell you all about it if you ask him, and he's sober. Interesting note. Wonder if you can
I used
in
to
this game.
listen while Emily and her governess Callista read from this book. I'm glad she wasn't here to see Emily driven out of Dunwall Tower.
Cutus, Morgan, and the postulate child. Cutus. That's good that Callista was still our teacher. Governess, she got upgraded.
I've got to get out of Dunwall.
So there's
I
that
don't
route.
know that ship, but maybe the captain can help.
Anton Sokolov made that ship. Nah, I'm gonna keep quoting that whenever he says something like that. That's a hefty fall in it.
What do I have to do to get Emily back? What do I have to become?
Good that you can do that
Traitorous
now
dog.
instead of like only drop kills.
The city is crawling with the Duke's men.
Listen up, I have bad news. Ramsey's missing. Corporal Moore checked the royal quarters, and Corvo Atano has apparently fled the tower. We've got to find him. That's it, you've got your orders. Spread out and find the fugitive. We're in this with the Duke of Serkino, sink or swim. There's no way to turn back now. So let's see. What was it? I'll search.
Who's running
Oh, I didn't even think there'd be people in here. I don't know why I didn't think that. Oh, well, what a solid start to the game.
Hello? That's Corvo Atano.
What? Right, okay, well, I guess I have to do what I done last time. And that's just not do anything, not interact with the whole game, and just run through it all.
What's going on here? Hey, the Royal Protector! You know what to do.
Road squad by order of the city watch.
Who's running
Not
around
in the mood. Show yourself.
You can't escape.
Figure this out. It's the Royal Protector! I
Wonder who that was.
I have a fear of swimming under boats. It's a whole thing I have.
Is there any chance I could slip past all these uniformed assholes and get into the tower myself? Do I still have it left in me?
She looks familiar.
Lord Atano, you want to hear what I've got to say. I guarantee it. Lord Protector, forgive me for saying it, but you look like death warmed over.
It's been an unusual day. There's a coup underway, and I'm being blamed for the Crown Killer murders.
My name's Megan Foster. I work with an old ally of yours, Anton Sokolov. We learned something scary down in the south, and I came to warn you.
I know, Anton. The Duke's here with a woman named Delilah who's seized the throne. They have Emily, and I barely got out. For now, I have to get away, recover my footing.
Bad things always seem to happen in Dunwall. Feels like the end of the world.
I need to get to Karnaca, where the Crown Killer murders started. Delilah must have been down there for a while, and I've got to figure out what's going on.
The dreadful whale will get you there. Should we go?
Let's go.
Didn't kill anyone, but 19 detections. That's what I get for just running through the street. I didn't kill anyone, so that's okay. Good to know I didn't miss any bone charms or anything. And what you could from the carried Dunwall's Tower Estates. Locked march around it safe from. Yeah. A stranger that something feels off. Find out what's going on. Hydrate, okay. Ugh.
Something's not right, but it seems familiar somehow.
Something's not right. It's just the catchphrase of this game. Oh yeah.
I remember this endless cold.
Here we are in the void. It's a lot less blue and a lot more black this time around, but here we are.
You might as well show yourself.
Corvo, old friend. Do I even have to say it? You've lost another empress. Delilah was born a pawn, but now she's got the throne. 15 years ago, the assassin Dowd could have warned you about her if you'd bothered to ask.
Huh?
But you were too busy for questions. Times have changed, Corvo, and you haven't been watching the dark corners of the world. Maybe living in a palace has made you soft. What happens when you push a man farther than he ever thought he could go? Does he snap? And what happens when he tries to go home? Maybe you'll finally learn what it feels like to kill an empress. Dowd could have told you about that, too.
You can go no powers, but we're gonna go powers.
I felt this so long ago. The void. It was still there all along.
Yeah.
Never thought I'd be here again.
So the outsider is voiced by the guy who plays the Penguin in the Gotham series.
Now I'm going to save my daughter and win back her throne.
In this game, but not the. It wasn't voiced by the same person in the original. What a pleasant thing to show me.
I've been here before.
I know you. Do you remember? It's been so long, and you've been through so much. Even as an echo of myself, it's good to know you're there.
Jessamine, if all I can hear are the last echoes of your voice, that's enough.
Only the last of my essence, with you for a while. If only I could reach across this great expanse and take you into my arms. But I have this to offer. My gift and my curse. Summon me to your hand, and I will guide you when I can.
Oh, I've still got that path. Brought me nowhere. What? Hello?
Who is Delilah really? Jessamine's sister? Bearing the outsider's mark.
That's the crown killer right there. That kind of looks cool.
There's no one quite like Delilah. I watched her pull herself up from blood and filth until she was in a position to steal from the wisest scholars in the Empire. Survival and ambition, art and magic, with a cunning that makes fawning sycophants of those around her, all of it leading to what you saw at Dunwall Tower. Delilah's playing the long game. She took all the abuse the world could deal out, and now she has a crown. But I'll let you in on a secret. She's got her eyes set on a much greater prize.
Pepper will meet with Megan Foster and discuss a plan of action before taking the skiff to Karnaca.
Maybe I got lazy. Fell asleep at my post. Somehow everything I love is at risk. Again. Last time I saw Karnaca, I was just 18, boarding a ship bound for Dunwall. It was dawn and I'd been up all night dancing 3 sheets to the wind. I was puffed up with the old Duke's favor, and I thought I was the greatest swordsman the Isles had ever known. For over 3 decades, I've lived in a palace, watching over the people I love. I've had an empress die in my arms, and raised another from birth. Who would have thought I'd come back home, the most wanted man in the Isles, following the trail of a monstrous killer? What would that 18-year-old think of me now?
He's pretty nimble for a 40-year-old, you know? Oh, sweet, a guitar. Hell yeah. What we got? Consume the mana. That's pretty sick. And the duelist luck. Bullet pack side chance for using puzzle, but I don't care about that. I did I not get more runes? I did get a couple more runes. I mean, we've got 24 runes. All right, okay. Aiming blank at enemy attacks and deliver a powerful front kick, throwing enemies forward, unaware enemies are assassinated normally. Oh, that's pretty sick, but I don't want them assassinated, so I guess we'll just go with this one. And we'll go with this one. Shadow Walk. Passing capacity. Ooh, that's pretty sick. Neat. Possession. Doppelganger. Dark Vision. Bend Time. Wind Blast. Burning Swarm. Mesmerize. Far Reach. Domino. We're gonna go with. I think we want Mesmerize. A little bit maybe. I don't know. We want maybe Domino. Domino seems pretty cool to have. I think we need. I don't think we need Link 4. That's a bit excessive, isn't it? Let's go with Shadow Walk. Get one of these. Sure, we can get this. We can get this. And I should have got Agility, honestly. But we got Shadow Kill, Bone Charm Crafting, don't care. Bloodthirst, don't care. Reflexes, supernatural reflexes allow you to fight any conflicting bullets at any time. Enslaving with a pistol crossbow, time is slowed for you. Okay. Don't care about blocking's great and it's really cool, but that ends up killing people. Armor easily. Slow time briefly when an enemy spots you, which gives you more time to react to plan a counterattack. Okay. So we want agility and reflexes. Cool. New Year, long day in Dunwall. New Year. Most people, a new year means renewed hopes and promises. Me, I just hate the memories that get dredged up. Today, the 3rd day of the month of Earth, would have been Jessamyn's birthday. We used to take a skiff out in the river before dawn, bringing in a good old bottle of sparkling wine, just to take a few moments to watch the sunrise together, alone for a while, before she got caught up in our duties for the day. All these years later, why am I still thinking about it? The anniversary. The worst time of year, these weeks leading up to the anniversary of Jessamyn's murder. I run through it all again. If I'd just been there a moment sooner, or known about Dowd. If I'd just been a bit stronger, faster, smarter. If one moment she was there, the next in my arms, slipping away, nothing I could do. Yes, I still grieve. The whole world still grieves, and so we mark the day she was murdered with somber speeches and trumpets. The month of harvest can't come soon enough. Dishonored. Feels like it did all these years ago. Jessamyn and me, just a moment too late. Now Emily, this witch Delilah, the most powerful magic I've ever seen. She tore away the outsider's mark and made Emily into stone. I'll find a way to undo it and to undo Delilah herself, along with her accomplice, Duke Abel. Somehow I'll make sure that they'll pay for what they've done to Emily. I've dealt with that weasel Ramsay for a start, but thanks to Delilah and the Duke, the whole empire thinks I'm the crown killer. But for now I'm on a boat, heading away from Dunwall, towards my homeland. Seems absurd to write it down. The captain is Megan Foster. She says she's friends with Anton Sokolov, the old royal physician. I have no choice but to trust her, for now. We sail to Sarkonos. At least it gives me time to think I need a plan. Plan to save Emily and put Delilah from the throne and pull Delilah from the throne she stole. Limited resources. It's not what you're used to, living in a palace, but this is all the coin I can scrap up. Anton and I operated on a tight budget, and guess what? Now you do too. If it's not beneath you, pick up whatever valuables you find along your way. We'll need ammo and resources to take down the people behind the coup. Hidden all over the city are there underground black market shops. Look for a symbol depicting two hands, which means there's a shop nearby. All the signs, they'll guide you. Buying from the black market is against the law, but it could make the difference between the Duke's military. Sokolov was working on this crossbow as a gift for you. If you need it modified, those shops can help with that as well. Megan. The void. I'd almost forgotten the way it feels to walk in the void, that sickening sensation, like falling, like being abandoned by everything you've ever known. And the outsider, those dead eyes of his, limitless black. Of course, he offered me the same gift. I thought I might refuse just to let him know I won't be part of his games. Then I remembered Emily, trapped by Delilah's magic, so I took it. Anything I can use against the Duke and Delilah, anything to defeat them and save my daughter. If this gift comes with a price, I just hope it's not too steep. And what will his other gift cost me? Jessamyn's beloved voice, trapped in the same strange contraption that kept me company 15 years ago. I've been trying to forget it, but it's comforting to be able to talk to her again. And yet, it's not entirely the person I knew anymore. We finally arrived in Karnaka. I haven't seen the city in years. Nobody's waiting for me there. Neither the people nor the Duke. Maintenance list. Repair the things that got busted up in Anton's room when he was taken. That's been weeks now. No, scratch that. Not until I bring him back home. As a show of faith that he will be coming back. Unblock the storage door. Looks like something fell on the last side, and I really need to sell the stuff that's locked in there to make some coin. Pay the port tax and look the other way fees to those Grand Guard bastards before they wonder who my passenger is this time. I'll do it when I get the money. Try to use a screwdriver to open it. Good thing we're not a submarine, isn't it? Or big waves are coming. Whoa. What is that? Big, like, pipeline thing? A whaling ship. Wow. This place is fucking full. Addermeyer solution, different from Piero's elixir. Reflection on my journey in the Pandician continent 3 by Anton Sokolov, chapter 15. At dawn, I set out with a group that. Excuse me. At dawn, I set out with a group that forged east and included 2 other natural philosophers and 4 crewmen. We used blades to clear the vegetation that grew thickly here, and slowly made our way from the shore up a steep incline. Our purpose was to gather samples of the native plants of our research journals. I found myself pressing leaves and stems between pages and taking copious notes on several species of flora I summarized no human had ever set eyes on previously. When suddenly young Mr. Gravett from the academy began hopping about and screaming wildly. Chance had bade him pick up an unfortunate place to step. Aggressive ant-like creatures swarmed him from below. So many in numbers were his tiny attackers that we quickly lost sight of him under their onslaught. We finally managed to pull Gravett from the insects, acquiring several painful welts where we had come to his aid. Mr. Gravett, however, was bitten or stung, as I would eventually discover. So many times he was barely recognizable, swollen unto deformity over every inch of his person, moaning like a sick bull. He expired before we could hurry him back to the beach. Luckily, some of the creatures still clung to him, providing me with precious samples. Ah, fish. Fuck. Right, hold on, let's change the let's Oh no, wait, hold on, I've got two available. There we go. And one sleep darts.
You're up. When you're ready to talk, I'll tell you what I know.
That's pretty sick shit.
We've been en route for 2 weeks. I hope Sokolov is all right.
Blood of the Able House, Chapter 4 Introduction. Chapter 4 Introduction. What are the first 3 chapters? The chapter will focus on Editha Able, steward of Kuluro. With sword in hand, she swept the marshes of raiders, sacrificing her life for Sarkonos. We will provide newly uncovered insights into the exploits of Rabinos Able, who built the ornate wooden bridges of Sagunto. Follow along as we map out the expansions occurring under the Ables, through which trade routes in the other isles were established, bringing riches to the nation state. Even as waves of settlers continued to join Sarkonos from Morley, the Ables balanced growth against their Sarkonian culture. In later chapters, we will detail the times of Theodanis Able, true son of Sarkonos. Brave and benevolent, he united the east and west as no other before him. Even the rowdy people of Balastian swore loyalty to him. One Isle, one Sarkonos, united under House Able. Lastly, we will settle on Luca Able, who rules today, partaking in feasts and merriments of all kinds, bringing joy to our fair isles.
Wherever he is.
Sokolov's style. It's Delilah.
Anton started it just before he was taken. They've got history, but he wouldn't say more.
If he isn't tinkering or painting, Sokolov's chasing life. Or used to.
Dearest Emily, or must I say, Your Imperial Majesty, I have something that you and Corvo must hear at the first opportunity. It concerns the murders happening across the Empire, committed by this so-called Crown Killer. When I left Bristol years ago, I swore I'd never again take part in any further political matters. I've done my share of bad things, and some good, before and after the Rat Plague. But here in Karnaca, I've uncovered a terrible conspiracy against you. Here, at the bottom of the Empire, the cobblestones smell of death and corruption. I'm staying with an associate, Megan Foster, aboard her vessel, the Dreadful Whale. We'll leave for Dunwall in the morning, as soon as the tides are willing. I keep thinking of the way sweet Jessamine was stolen from you and your father, and I fear it might be your turn to face such turmoil. I know Corvo would protect you with his life, but please do not trust anyone.
There you are, old man. I was asked to pay you a visit.
Wait, what's wrong with you? Megan!
Off we go, Sokolov, to somewhere more private.
Ah.
I miss listening to old Anton Sokolov and his travel stories. He even explored Pandyssia.
Wow. Anton's investigation notes. Why can't an old man enjoy his last years in a warmer climate with good wines and spicy foods, without stumbling into another nest of aristocratic vipers, eager to coil around the heart of this empire? As I've learned more each week for months now, I found my mind turning over the moments beneath the surface here in Karnaca. Duke Luca Able, and some inner circle that seems to include Captain Mortimer Ransby of the Dunwall City Watch, a betrayal that boggles the mind. How many others are involved? They aim their venom at her dearest empress, the young Emily. That much is certain. But when will they strike? And how? Do I dare spend another month gathering stray bits of esoteric information, linking it together with what we already know? Can we even afford another week? Or should Megan and I set for Bristol tonight, taking this leaky tub up through the canal? Corvo will not hesitate. He'll act as soon as I hand over what I know. And if I'm not too hasty, if I'm too hasty, it might be his undoing, coming home to his native Sarkonos without some critical piece of knowledge about this affair. Then there's a crown killer to worry about. That fiend is part of Duke Abel's schemes, as I suspect. How long until the dreadful whale catches the Duke's eye? Sokolov's notes, the bloodfly study. I've wondered whether I have another book in me. The bloodfly epidemic, coupled with basic information on life cycle and behaviour, might make an excellent project for this old natural philosopher. Bloodflies are exotic insects, unlike anything else found in Sarkonos. I suspect they originated in the Pandician continent. In groups of 3 or fewer, they are harmless. Individuals won't attack, leading me to speculate that each emits a scent that has a collective effect on large numbers of bloodflies. Bloodflies are attracted to rapid movement and sound. Their nests can be broken apart, scattering the swarm, and in particular, the nests are quite susceptible to fire. The insects require fresh corpses to lay their eggs, which hatch in breathtaking fashion. After a very short time, more corpses in a Sarkonian city, say during a crisis or plague, mean more bloodflies. Interestingly, in the last part of a bloodfly's life cycle, they calm a great deal, leaving the swarm. They molt, causing the winds to drop off. Afterwards, each bloodfly lives a solitary existence. Very odd. Bloodflies are largely restricted to the south, preferring warmer climates, like certain aging natural philosophers. Reflection on my journey to the Pandician continent. 1. A colleague of mine owns a stunning map of the known world, adorned with circulates and sea beasts. It has a cherished spot over her mantle. She paid handsomely for it, and was so bristled when I enumerated the various errors. Chief among them, of course, was the size and placement of the Pandician continent, or how the cartographers are loath to show how small and distant our empire really is, compared to that giant landmass. The Pandicia were about a few days' journey from Arran. I'm just a day away from Arran. Actually less, I'm like 2 hours away from the island of Arran. Every veteran ship captain knows that it takes months to reach those shores. I've no doubt that Pandicia was rich in resources, but a place must be understood if we ever hope to exploit its myriad treasures. These were my thoughts as I agreed to join the ill-fated expedition, and so it was. On the 3rd day of the month of Arth, under calm and grey skies, the great vessel Antonia Aquilino set sail with a captain, crew, researchers, and myself, 38 of us in total. What would be the most terrifying and spiritually draining experience of my life. Sorry, I saw a shiny. I had to do it to it. Let's get off the ship.
The jewel of the South. My homeland.
Hey, I know that place. That's Addermire. Reflection on the journey of the Pandician continent, chapter 60. 2 dead on our first day of the continent, but the New World was not stated would have one more. None other than the captain himself. His group had found a cluster of small rodents, much like rabbits or prairie moles. The lure of fresh meat proved too much a temptation for our good captain, who had dined on scant fish and the same rations as the crew all these drier months. But he was able to grab one of the creatures with his bare hands. The docile beast was not so tame after all. Having allowed the captain to pick it up, the creature became enraged and delivered several stings from a gland hidden in its tail. The captain complained of heat and itching where the stings had penetrated, but insisted they press on. He died of asphyxiation within a quarter of an hour. It was suddenly obvious to me that this rate of attrition we would not only fail to sufficiently research the continent, but we might soon lack enough crew to make the return voyage. Something had to be done to save the venture, and so I immediately declared myself captain. On my orders, the remaining crew kept the relative safety of the beach for the duration of the week. Though I sent 2 young academy students armed with nets and cages to fetch a live sample of the Perry mole that had so swiftly killed the captain, as first and foremost ours was a research expedition. Interesting. I'm really interested about Pandacia, especially with what we heard about from it in the first game. Okay.
Dunwall seems so far away. I'll come back soon, Emily. I promise.
Pandacia isn't on this map, interestingly enough. That I can see anyway. Who's this bastard? Dreadful whale accounting. Whoa, there's a whale? The worst you've ever had. I'll make you sleep in the engine room if you don't fix the mess by tomorrow. Megan, if all inventors were as delicate and short-tempered as you are, you and I would still be paddling around in